Hi, my name is Chris Brookman from Back to Earth, and today's how-to video is how to install your plinth insulation. Now, the plinth is one area that there are a lot of different ways of doing. Basically, we recommend 3 different methods of applying insulation to the plinth. So you can have a solid wall which goes down into the ground and you can insulate fully down into the ground. The second option is to have an aluminium tray which the insulation sits in just above DPC level normally, or you can combine the two and you can have an aluminium tray above DPC with insulation below that, which is then going down into the ground. So we'll start with the insulation onto masonry or onto a continuous plinth first. Now here on this model we're obviously using a timber frame, but we're going to install it as if it was on a solid masonry wall. So the first thing to do is to get a level base. So the top of your plinth insulation really wants to be level all the way around the building, so that your coursing for your wood fibre boards above that, or your insulation above that, carries on level obviously. So we're using a laser level here to mark out our level. Now with all of the wood fibre systems that we sell, we do recommend that there is no wood fibre below 300 mil above ground level. So anything less than 300 mil above ground level needs to be polystyrene. So we tend to use a very high density enhanced polystyrene, EPS 200, and this piece I've cut at 300 mil, so it should sit somewhere near the right level for that laser. So that can go down to ground level, that can go just below ground level, and you can bring gravel back up to it for drainage. It can sit just above ground level, so you can play around with it as you need to. Okay, so we have our plinth boards cut and ready to install. What we're going to do is we're going to take the UdiBASE plinth slurry, which I've mixed up. We're going to apply it to the back, just in dabs, and then we're going to actually use a toothed comb to spread it out. So we're looking for a full surface bond behind the board, so we do need to cover the whole of the back of the board with the adhesive. If you're applying these boards onto a stonework base which is uneven, it's best to actually render that flat with a thin sand cement render first before you actually apply these boards, so that you do actually have a flattish surface to put them onto. We've put the adhesive on the back of the board, the plinth slurry, and you just simply press that into place and give it a good wiggle, just to ensure that you've got full bonding with the substrate, which will normally be masonry, stonework, brickwork, whichever. Whilst the UdiBASE plinth slurry is still wet, you want to be using some fixings to actually fix that back to the board. On a 300 mil board like this, you would be putting 2 fixings, 2 in the middle and then 2 at each end, so 6 fixings in that board. So you can use screw fixings like this. We also supply hammer fixings, so you drill a pilot hole and then hammer that in. For the screw fixings, simply a screw and a plug. Okay, so let's screw that in. So you want to screw them in, screw the fixings in as straight as you possibly can. Make sure the green plug, there's a little green cap there, stays on the fixing, and you actually put it in after you finish. This protects the head of the screw from the render, because the render will actually corrode the head of the screw, and it also provides a thermal break to the render. So they want to fit firmly back against the board, but not actually dent the board, so they are just literally holding it in place. They will protrude very slightly, but they'll be taken up in the render.